Whenever you come across this tarot reading, we're going to look into what is coming in for money, wealth, and career. Now, you could be any zodiac sign. The reading is general and timeless, so just take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't for the next person. And if you would like a personal tarot reading, a private one-on-one session with me, Akashic Records, or a summer tarot reading, there is only 25 available. Check out the box below. It will have everything that you will need. All right, so when it comes to money, wealth, and career, there is someone who is watching you on social media. Okay, so when it comes to money, wealth, career, you may have like a brand page. You may talk about what you do online in some way, shape, or form. Someone's having some sort of understanding or awakening through your social media. We do have the card Beauty, charming, graceful, kind-hearted, and then coffee date, meeting up, planning discussions, where someone likes what they see. All right. Again, we do have, it says sneaky, but it says behind the scenes social media with realizations, beauty, and then coffee date, meeting up, planning discussions. It feels like more of, oh, I've been looking at this person's social media for a while, and it makes me want to reach out to them. It makes me want to follow them, DM them, book with them, whatever it may be for you. So we'll grab one of these cards before we go to the tarot. Now, what do we have today for all zodiac signs on this is what's coming in for money, wealth, and career? Why do we have social media, realizations, charming, kind-hearted, and meeting up? We have cornucopia here, all right? And then woman or man holding a coin. Somebody wants to make an offer here. Okay, this is somebody that has been watching you. Again, it could be social media or just some sort of brand page, some way that you share your business, your brand, your soul mission and purpose. There is somebody that likes what they see. They're like, oh, I like what I see. I like this energy. I feel aligned to it, to you. And there's going to be someone who books with you. For some of you, it could be collaboration. It says coffee date. So it feels like there's somebody who wants to reach out to you, to work with you, to collaborate with you. And again, it's either like a soulmate that wants to collaborate, or it's a soul client that wants to book with you. We do have cornucopia. So this is you also receiving abundance. Let's grab the tarot. And let's see what comes through. We're going to use the fairy wheel. I believe it's the fairy wheel tarot. Why do we have cornucopia, social media, kind-hearted, meeting up? What's coming in for the collective? What's coming in for money, wealth, and career? Why do we have social media, charming, graceful, kind-hearted, meeting up, and realizations? Why do we have social media, meeting up, kind-hearted, realizations? Why the Two of Cups for social media, meeting up, kind-hearted, realizations? What do we have here for the collective on what's coming in for money, wealth, and career? Why the Two of Cups and the Five of Cups for social media, meeting up, kind-hearted realizations? What's the outcome here for money, wealth, and career for the Two of Cups and the Five of Cups? What is the outcome here for the Two of Cups and the Five of Cups? Why the Knight of Swords for social media, meeting up, kind-hearted? Why the Knight of Swords and Judgment? Someone is realizing that it's almost like you're not the one to be played with. Somebody got you mistaken at first, but they are trying to shift their judgment on you. Where this could be like a soulmate, it could even be a client of yours, where they're like a potential client, or even say a previous client of your business, of your work, soul mission, whatever resonates with you. It could also be a collaborator, so just what resonates. I'm going to grab two cards over here, and then we'll start reading this tarot. Victory, so we'll keep that over here. What do we have for the Two of Cups? Why the Two of Cups here for money, wealth, and career? Why the Two of Cups for social media, meeting up, kind-hearted realization? Why the Five of Cups for social media? They judged you at first, but this person quickly changed their mind. This is somebody who judged you too quickly. They see you as a magician. They came across your shadow, where it's interesting here. There's someone who, they came into your life, they saw you as a magician. So they see you as like someone who, and this is upon like, say, first meeting you. So that could even be like your rising sign. So go check out your rising. Wow, this person is good at what they do. This person is like a magician. This person makes things happen. So I will say, I will be very honest that this person pedestalized you at first. Then they felt as if they were disappointed, but there is a huge judgment at the end where it's almost like they want to reverse some sort of judgment that they had about you. Why do we have the Two of Cups and the Magician card? Why the Two of Cups and the Magician card for career, money, and wealth, for social media, kind-hearted, meeting up, realizations? Why the Two of Cups and the Magician card for social media, kind-hearted, epiphany, meeting up? Yeah, somebody pedestalized you at first. And it's almost as if, say, they met you, they looked a little bit deeper. Maybe for some of you, even booked with you. Confirmation. There was something they didn't see, though. But they quickly judged you, and you're either being protected or... Why the Eight of Pentacles in reverse and the Five of Cups for social media, meeting up, kind-hearted, epiphany? It's very interesting here. Ten of Swords in reverse. You don't look like what you've been through. 777 as I say that. Somebody pedestalized you, but what they didn't realize is your success comes from alchemized pain. Your peace, the appearance of your peace on social media. And that's what it says, social media. So again, like these are people who watch you on social media. You may have a business on social media. That may be a way that people even say book with you or find you'd like to collaborate with you. They were disappointed actually upon, say, meeting you. However, it's because there was a blockage they didn't see. It's like, oh, that person's strength. Because it's interesting here. We have Ten of Swords in reverse. Someone's third eye opened up about you. Why do we have the Five of Cups, Eight of Coins in reverse, and the Ten of Swords of reverse here? Why the Five of Cups, Eight of Coins in reverse, and the Ten of Swords in reverse? For some of you, what I'm seeing is a scar. And it's almost as if someone got close enough to see your scar. Say you're online and say you actually have like a scar and say you put makeup over it in every single say video or whatever it may be, right? And then somebody meets you and they're like, oh wow, I never knew you had that scar. And not that you were hiding it, not that it's a bad thing, but somebody pedestalized you is the key thing here. They pedestalized you. They thought you were perfect upon meeting you or before booking with you, before actually meeting you or booking with you when it came to social media. And I will say someone was a little bit disappointed here where they're like, oh, your new beginning, your success came from alchemy. Three of Pentacles. Hard work, collaboration. Why the Three of Pentacles for Five of Cups, Eight of Coins in reverse, Ten of Swords in reverse, the Ace of Wands? Yeah, your inspiration has come from your experience in life. So you're someone who has a lot of experience in life. No one ever judged the crone for having wrinkles, right? When someone's older and they have stretch marks, or wrinkles, or, whatever age, they have stretch marks, wrinkles, etc., those are signs of experience. And it's almost like somebody met you or got close to you, and all rose-colored glasses came off. It was like, oh, this person isn't as perfect as I thought that they were. 5 of Wands. And I will say this person at first wasn't happy. Why the 5 of Wands here? For the 8 of Coins in reverse, 5 of Cups, 10 of Swords in reverse, and the Ace of Wands. Why the 5 of Wands and the 9 of Cups? You're protected. The Fool card here, you are protected. There is somebody who, and it could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but it's the kind of thing of like, oh, I thought this person was going to look exactly the way that they look online. Like that kind of thing. And it's like, oh, I mean, I'm a human being. And when I wake up, it doesn't exactly look as it did when I took 30 minutes to get ready for whatever, right? Say the video you posted online, etc. Where there's also nothing, like part of it is just truth. Do you really believe that the 20-second, 30-second reel you see about anybody is a full spectrum of them, especially when it's someone, say, business, etc.? This is not a personal page. Like, this is not personal. Somebody can feel personable in their work, but it's not personal. This is business. If you want to get to know someone as a friend, you could get to know them as a friend separately. That's like a separate, But business is just business. You were protected from some sort of disappointment that someone had about you, where, not that it's not your problem. In a sense, like it's not your problem. Like somebody really pedestalized you here. And then the truth is, you're human. Truth is, I'm actually not even going to say what I was going to say just now. Let's just get another card. What do we have for... I'll give this example. Truth is, everybody has bad breath in the morning. Almost everybody. Unless you're drinking chlorophyll, then you probably smell a little bit better than most people. King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag. Truth is, when whoever you pedestalize, I don't know, let me think of a random, just celebrity. I don't know, say Justin Bieber. I don't know. Oh my God, I love Justin Bieber. I watch everything he does. I want to spend a night with Justin Bieber so bad. Oh my God. And then Justin Bieber wakes up the next morning and Justin Bieber's breath stinks. Oh my God. I didn't know his breath was going to stink. Oh my God. I thought he was a superstar. He's a human. This is somebody that got close to you when it comes to money, work, and prosperity or career. And this person, I will say, anyone who pedestalizes anyone will always learn a lesson. And it's not always going to be on the person who was pedestalized. Where there's something here about you're protected from a conflict that someone projected upon you. For the outcome here, for kind-hearted realization, someone's realizing that you're not perfect, but you're kind-hearted. And for some of you, this is someone, though, that's like, oh my gosh, anyone online that has a 30,000 following, 100,000 following, they must be rich. They must be perfect, and all those different things. And it's like, you're not in Kansas anymore, love. You're not in Kansas anymore. I think of Michael Jackson's life, right? Michael Jackson's life from beginning, all the way to the end, where Michael Jackson was never perfect. Michael Jackson went through so much, but is one of the biggest superstars in the world, legendary, level, through time and through space. Or my 7-year-old son does the moonwalk, kind of thing of and Michael Jackson died, I don't know how long ago. What do we have for the collective, for money, wealth, and career? For this reading on social media, meeting up, kind-hearted, realization. Why the Knight of Swords, the Judgment card, and the Four of Swords here? For money, wealth, and career, for cornucopia, for the outcome here, why Knight of Swords, Judgment card, and the Four of Swords? You could be seeing the number 444. Why Judgment card and the Knight of Swords for the outcome of social media meeting up kind-hearted realization. Wow, 444. There we go here. And then we do have the Hierophant. So you could be seeing the number 444. There is someone here that called quick judgment upon you. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And then we do have like the Virgo energy here. So the Hermit card and then Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Why Libra? Why do we have the Queen of Swords with the Hermit card here? Why the Queen of Swords with the Hermit card? Why Queen of Swords? Why the Hermit card, Queen of Swords, Five of Pentacles in reverse, and the Two of Swords? Page of Wands, good news, etc. And what is this Two of Swords? Why the Two of Swords here? Why the Two of Swords? Is there a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius being cut out of your life? Or you could be the Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Why the Page of Wands here? Confirmation of what I was just going to say. If you're in it for the long run, especially if you have a business, career, social media, you're visible. You know, you're going to have a bad day and it's going to be known. It's going to be viral. It's going to be this, that. And what this is more saying is, hey, if you want it for the long run, you better get used to being seen while not being perfect. Any legend that you see out there, Michael Jackson, Amy Winehouse, Whitney Houston, think of businesses that are really big out there. You're going to be criticized. You're going to hold the shadow publicly. And it's not even you, where that's just, it is what it is. If you're going to hold, say, a public image over time, if you are going to share yourself, your soul business, your soul mission online being visible, it's releasing perfectionism while simultaneously understanding that the public eye doesn't know what it's like to be visible. The public eye in society is expecting perfectionism that's not real nor true. So it's simultaneously living in your truth and kind of rejecting the naysayers, and that's what I'm seeing in this reading. Where that's just what it is. People who are consuming you, they don't know what it is like to be in your position. They do not know what it is like to be visible. Why the Knight of Swords and the Judgment card? I'm going to go to another tarot deck. Why the Knight of Swords and the Judgment card for the outcome of social media meeting up kind-hearted realization? Why Knight of Swords and the Judgment card for social media meeting up kind-hearted? So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Someone's in regret over here. We have the Three of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, and then the Queen of Cups. Why Three of Pentacles here for social media meeting up kind-hearted realizations? Why the Nine of Swords for social media meeting up kind-hearted and realizations? But there's somebody else over here. Why the Queen of Cups for social media meeting up kind-hearted epiphany? Yeah, this is somebody who wanted to either collaborate or to work with you. Why the Tower card with the Queen of Cups for Ace of Pentacles is what was caught here. Why Judgment card and the Nine of Swords? Why the Queen of Cups and the Tower card for Judgment and the Knight of Swords? Why Queen of Cups and the Tower card for Judgment and the Knight of Swords? And then why Page of Cups with the Eight of Wands for Judgment and the Knight of Swords? And then why Judgment? Yeah, what you have here, there is someone who is very hypercritical of you. But it's interesting here because we have the Ten of Swords and then we have the Six of Coins over here. So what this is showing for money, wealth, and career is there was someone who was coming in and wanted to perhaps even invest in you. And it ended up being like a betrayal. Judgment card with the 10 of Swords. Someone was like, nah, this isn't exactly what I wanted or expected. And they take away some sort of investment from you. It shows a missed opportunity. So this is someone, so for career, money, and wealth, there is somebody who's watching you on social media, somebody who wants to book with you. But then it's almost as if when they meet you, Wheel of Fortune, like when they meet you, they're like, oh, this isn't exactly what I thought. Why the Wheel of Fortune here? Why the Wheel of Fortune for social media, meeting up, kind-hearted realization? Now, I will say you do end up winning, where for some of you, you learned a lesson with, it really looks like a client, that this could be a client of yours. It could also be a collaborator. There is somebody that's like, oh, this person, I will say it's like your human side. They saw like your shadow and they're like, oh, I don't want this anymore. And I will say you missed out on an opportunity. There is somebody who was not interested in you, 444, that's all over this reading. They weren't interested in you. And they denied you. But what Spirit is saying in this reading, we have the Wheel of Fortune, the Four of Wands. It feels like there's still success coming in. You know, we're part of visibility too, where if anybody watching has a page on social media or a soul mission or soul business that is very visible, it's also getting used to people aren't going to like you. You're not their taste. And it's kind of like get used to it. You know, that you are not this person's taste. You're not their palate. You know, this person got close to you and they're like, oh, nope, next. Why the Wheel of Fortune and the Four of Wands here? Why the Wheel of Fortune and the Four of Wands? Now you end up walking away from something where you're walking away from plans in some way, shape, or form. And it does feel like it's with this person. You end up doing something on your own. We have the Queen of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag. Why the Eight of Cups and the Queen of Wands here? The thing is, you're still the Magician, which is what's interesting in this reading. So you are who they thought you were. But this person was expecting perfectionism. And so you are the Magician card. But somebody thought you were a magician that looks like this every single second of the day. And exactly how I appear on social media is exactly how they expected that you were. You know, and this is for anybody, there's a balance of when somebody's at work, of course it's them. But also understand that, you know, to some degree, there is some sort of mask in some way, shape, or form, and not necessarily in a bad way. It's work. It's the kind of thing where, you know, say somebody is professional on the job, but then you spend more time with them and you start to see different sides of them. That doesn't have anything necessarily to do with your work. But also, again, if you are visible or you're planning to be visible, your soul mission, soul business, or yourself, it's understanding that you cannot please everyone. And yes, you are who you say you are. There's going to be people who are going to say, nope, you're not. You know, you could be known for the best French fries as a restaurant. There's going to be people that tell you that your French fries suck. It doesn't mean that you suck, you know, but I will say you are not this person's cup of tea at all. And this person wanted to move on from you, but you are who you say you are. You are the Magician card, and you still are the Magician card that you were here. They expected that the Magician was perfect, and the Magician has everything all put together. If anything, the Magician is who they are because they didn't at some point. Now, what is the advice for the collective on social media, meeting up, kind-hearted epiphany? What do we have for social media, meeting up, kind-hearted epiphany? What's the advice for social media, meeting up, There's more fish where that came from. There's more soul clients that are interested in you. There are more soulmates that are interested in you. And for money, wealth, and career, especially for those of you who have your own soul mission and soul business, we do have Seven of Swords and then the Three of Wands over here. Why Seven of Swords and the Three of Wands for advice for soul mission, soul business? Yeah, we have the Page of Pentacles here and then Eight of Pentacles, patience. Five of Cups, but in reverse, where for some of you, someone was judging you from like your past. It could be that you opened up to a soulmate, a soul client, and they're like, oh, that person is from that kind of past, you know? Or that's that person's actual story. You have many options here. But I will say there's like a card here of just being careful, where why the Seven of Swords, Three of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles for social media? Now, there is somebody, look at that, you are in Ten of Pentacles, but there's somebody that wants to use your past against you. You've gotten things from a reward for hard work. But there's someone here, like you came across someone who is a perfectionist. And there's somebody who is deeply criticizing you. Why Nine of Cups and the Eight of Swords for advice on social media, meeting up, kind-hearted realizations? It could be an Aries, Leo, Sag. You could be an Aries, Leo, Sag. Yeah, where you're someone who doesn't come from a lot. You're someone who worked really hard for everything that you have, but there's somebody that like expected you to be perfect in some way, shape, or form. And I will say you came across somebody who deeply criticized you. But you're standing your ground. Seven of Wands. Hangman, shifting perspective. You are standing your ground here. There's some sort of energy of, I don't have to be perfect. Nobody, it's actually like nobody is perfect. This is someone where I worked in the restaurants for many years, and I think of like someone who comes into a restaurant and nothing is going to satisfy them anyway. Nope, my soup is not warm enough, send it back. Nope, you put it in for 30 seconds, I wanted a whole minute. Nope, oh, you have a stain on your shirt? I don't want to be served by someone with this, you know? This is somebody, you came across somebody who is extremely critical. And you are actually having to stand up for yourself here, where it's like, well, I was never coming from that energy. Where when it comes to especially something like this, especially as like, someone who's holding a soul mission or soul business, what did I do to attract someone who's clearly not in alignment with me? These are not my values. I don't know where this person, came from when it came to their expectations of me. And so going within to see how you attracted this. Why the Page of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups for? Why the Page of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups for social media, meeting up, kind-hearted realization? Why Page of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and the Page of Swords for social media, meeting up, kind-hearted? You're in the truth. And I will say you're innocent in this reading. We have the Fool card here. Innocence, freedom. Page of Swords is a card of needing patience or putting protection up. Ace of Swords, you are in the truth here. And it does say friendship. It could be a friend. It could be someone you collaborated with. It could also be a soul client that came in as a client for your mission or business. Now, I will say, Spirit's saying of like, don't worry about this. This is a lesson meant for you to learn from. And I will say, this is someone who caused you issues. Like this is someone who walks into your place of establishment and complains about the whole place and this and that. But to the point where it's just like, hey, I don't think this is actually in alignment. This collaboration or like this, not in alignment with your soul mission, soul business, where it's like, I think you should find what's in alignment with you. That's what this turned into. And I will say you have more than one cup coming in. You're good. It's not like you don't have other collaborators, other soul clients, etc. But this led you to completely rethink things. This led you to shift your boundaries. This led you to have to stand up for yourself. One more card for advice on this, for career, money, and prosperity. For career, money, wealth, and prosperity. Why Page of Pentacles and the Six of Cups? Why Page of Swords and the Fool card? This person was critical. Look at that. King of Swords. And that King of Swords is up here too. This is somebody who like criticized everything that you operated and did. This is not operating correctly. That is not operating correctly. But meanwhile, you're just like this. And I will say, Spirit's still saying, it's not even that this person is saying not right or wrong, but this person needs to go somewhere else. Their expectations are not what you can fulfill. So say this is somebody who wants everything like this. And if you're serving me in a restaurant, I want to see no stains on your shirt. I want absolutely no wrinkles. Okay, well, you know what? I'm not the person. I am not the person for you, respectfully. And I will say you're healing from this. Three of Swords in reverse. You're releasing the pain of someone who is not in alignment with you. Now, why the Ace of Swords over here for advice? Why the Ace of Swords for advice on social media, meeting up, kind-hearted? There's a shift in perspective. And what this taught you, there's a balance here. Because this soul client or collaborator is not necessarily wrong, but it's not how you operate, and they're not right either. It allowed you to shift perspective of like, okay, well, how can I make things more clear? Maybe you are refining, right? Of like, oh, you know what, let me take that and let me refine what I can refine while also maintaining in my authenticity of how my soul mission and my soul business operates and works. The Hangman, the Ace of Swords. Why the Hangman and the Ace of Swords for the outcome of social media? You are victorious. Look at that. And it does say missed opportunity here, where, this is someone in your business, in your mission, that like it just taught you a lesson in a different kind of way, where you're going to succeed either way, with or without this person. One monkey don't stop no show, where you're going to succeed. But it did teach you a lot of like, okay, let me just refine a few things though. I'll take what resonates from this person's reflections and I'm going to leave away what doesn't, respectfully. Where there's certain things you could probably take from this person's like complaints. This is somebody who came and just criticized you all the way down, head to toe, like of your mission, your business, yourself. But this is the type of person of like, you need to improve. Bye-bye. Like, I'm like, okay, damn, well, where for some of you, this is like a 5-star, I guess a 5-star collaborator or client. And not to say that you're not 5 stars, but this is somebody who's looking for, how do I word this? This is somebody who was looking for wine and cheese, but like you clearly have it out there of like, I don't sell wine and cheese, or like I sell wine in a plastic bottle, like whatever it may be. There's nothing wrong with you, but you can refine a few things here. And I will say you're going to be successful regardless. The Hangman, the Ace of Swords, you have 6 of Wands, recognition, victory, and success. But this was a learning lesson for you. This person was extremely logical and critical. Why the Fool card here for advice on social media? Why the Fool card for advice with social media? I will say this person's actually cut out from your life. It's just different values. You didn't get their investment. It doesn't mean you're not going to get investments. 7 of Pentacles here, making investments. So I will say, keep your hope and faith. We have the 7 of Cups here, Page of Pentacles, the Sun card. Somebody came in and like, I will say again, like you could take what resonates from them, because some of it you can take for your business or your mission. And then you are going to leave the rest over here. And it is the thing where the customer is not always right. Like sometimes there's people who have OCD going into places and it's like, well, then you do it. You know, this is somebody who has like OCD. And you're like the opposite of that, where you know, not necessarily the opposite, but you do what you do and you just don't have OCD, you know? And then it's like, well, I never really thought about why I had wrinkles in my shirt because I didn't really think that it cared. You know, I never really cared and it didn't matter. That's what this is showing here. And I will say the Fool, you're innocent. It says innocence and then Two of Swords. Spirit is not cutting you out. Spirit's cutting out the person who deeply criticized you. They felt as if you had a lack of structure. They felt as if you were irrational, illogical, etc. And I will say you do succeed beyond their expectations and you still get investments, just not from them. It doesn't mean also that this person is wrong, but this person should go to whoever, whatever can fulfill their needs. You could not fulfill their needs, and that's not a bad thing on you or on their end. It's just not aligned. And I will say it's to the point, they criticized you to the point where Spirit protected you and your soul mission, your soul business. And you do succeed by the end of this reading. Now, how does this King of Swords in reverse feel about the collective? How does this King of Swords feel about the collective? This King of Swords, this person cannot stand you. This person is like, I can't do it. Like, this is truly someone, though, who is very logical, who maybe even has OCD, who needs things a certain way. But it's also you telling them of like, well, there might be something down the street that does, you know, but you, look at that, better off. Happiness, clear headspace. It's perspective that's like, well, you don't, you know. Now, how does the collective feel about this King of Swords in reverse? How does this collective feel about this King of Swords in reverse? Now we have loyalty, trusting, reliability, believing, return, second chance, opportunity, making amends. So for some of you, there could be a second chance, making amends. We do have dismiss. So you're disregarding, ignoring, looking the other way. And you have another opportunity that's coming in. With the loyalty over here, trusting, reliability, believing. Why loyalty for dismiss and return for how the collective feels about this King of Swords in reverse? Why loyalty? It says pursuit. Oh, negativity. You know, what Spirit is saying is, okay, the collective needs to like open up their third eye is what Spirit's saying here. You have very beautiful thoughts of this person. You are someone who is very loyal. Part of it is understanding of like, this person is thinking terrible about you and do not be like loyal to this person kind of thing, where you're like, oh, let's return, you know, I'm going to ignore what they're doing and saying and, you know, maybe a second chance. And it's like, no, you don't know what this person has wished upon you. Your business. Look at that wishing. You have no clue what someone has wished upon you. And so Spirit's like, yeah, you're sitting there of like, let's come together. Let's do this. Let's do that. I have high hopes and faiths as a Fool card. But this person criticized you to the point of wanting to destroy you. This person, this business shouldn't even exist. Like something like that. And you're sitting here of just like, you know, I'm going to ignore what this person is doing and thinking. But, you know, I'm a loyal person. Maybe we could come back together. And Spirit's just like, no, you do not know how this person thought about you. How does the collective feel about this King of Swords in reverse? Yeah, you are being protected here. And I will say this person, like, it's just not necessary in a sense. Where this person, it's really coming more from a place of this person, like, and I'm telling, like, has OCD or something. You know, they have expectations, they have high standards, whatever it is here. We have the signs and soulmates. You feel like this King of Swords is your soulmate. They can't stand you. this person, and I won't, like, that's why you're innocent here, where you're like, well, I don't know what's going on, but I really like this person, of like, oh, I know this is happening, but, maybe we'll come back together. No, like Spirit's like, hey, you are way too innocent, collective. And this person criticized you from the head all the way down to your toes. And this person, I will say, like, you recognize that something happened here. And you're like, well, it's okay. We're not talking right now, but it's okay. And this person is just like, I can't stand that person and that business. Let it go to whatever. Meanwhile, you are going to succeed. 6 of Wands here. All right, so let's grab a few cards of advice. So yeah, confirmation, you will succeed, but Spirit's also saying to not be so naive. Oh, wrong deck over here. Yeah, to not be so naive where, yeah, you came across like I don't even know how to call it. What do we have for advice here? What do we have for advice on social media? What do we have for advice on social media, kind-hearted? What is it over here? Social media, kind-hearted opportunities. What do we have for social media, kind-hearted opportunity realization? And what Spirit really is saying in this reading is like, you are kind of too kind-hearted, where somebody like actually took advantage of that. You had to stand your ground. I almost want to see what this is. Well, what didn't fall face up, but we'll see. It does say move on. So just confirmation, you're going to move on from this person where, again, if you're someone who has or will experience any form of success in soul mission, soul business, you cannot please everyone. You will come across this one person at least once in your life, at least once in your life, and you'll get through it. And this person will get through it too. A lot of Aquarian energy here. Oh, the Fool card is Aquarius. Now, what do we have for the collective on what's the advice for social media, kind-hearted, opportunity, realization? Listen, listen. You don't have to be perfect. And again, we think of, and I might name some people that you don't personally agree with, but what I'm trying to give is an example of someone who lasts a long time in the public eye, their soul mission, soul business, expressing their truth, whatever it may be. Like, you have to get used to not being liked, to being criticized. Oh my God, that person doesn't deserve to be there. Everybody says that about any pastor, any manager. Like, think of just simply, say, a restaurant manager. You're going to have a few employees that can't stand you and talk about they can't wait till you leave all the time. You were manager for 20 years, right? And so it's part of it. And that's like what Spirit's saying is in this reading. This is part of it, but it's also knowing how to navigate this on a professional level, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. When you have someone like this that does not like you and doesn't like what you do, it doesn't mean for you to stop what you do. And I do see there's things that you can take where resonates, but Spirit's putting a firm boundary of this Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Spirit's putting such a firm boundary on this person that my camera shut off. Where as soon as I said Spirit's putting a firm boundary, the camera shut off. Spirit's putting a very firm boundary. Now, for some of you, they are watching you through social media, but it's through the eyes of like something very negative, where it's also like, you can also just go somewhere else. And that's kind of what this reading is saying. It's a balance of both of you, where there is going to be some refinement that you do on your end. And then it's also like, oh, this is not in alignment. Your divine design doesn't need to be changed. We do have counter blessings. Wealth and power surround you, and smooth journeys lie ahead. So just confirmation, a smooth journey is coming ahead. There's opportunities, money, wealth, prosperity, visibility coming in for you. Make the best of this time while remaining productive. Be humble and be modest. Appreciate what you have and remember those who have stood by you. So either way, we see a lot of success that is surrounding you, your soul mission and business. That's what I have for you. I do hope that it resonates in a positive way. I'm sending you all so much love and so many blessings to your day.